Hi guys, Mark Dawes, Director and National Coach of NFPS Limited. Just another quick thing I wanted to touch base with you with as a bit of a freebie, some free information for you, and that is the amount of time that restraint goes on for. Deaths from restraint are fortunately quite rare, but a common factor in addition to things that we know about like the prone restraint, etc., is the amount of time that restraint goes on for. So if we have prolonged restraint, and this was evidenced in a very in-depth police survey by the way, and that's just one example of where it's been evidenced. If we have a prolonged restraint going on for an extended period of time, that factor in itself can increase the risk of death. So a solution to that, obviously, is to bring the restraint to an end as quickly as possible. However, we're still coming across restraints going on for hours. Recently we were told and informed of a restraint that went on for 5.5 hours, and in one other area 8.5 hours. Now, one of the reasons these restraints go on for an extended period of time is because they're all manual. In other words, human beings are having to physically restrain a human being by human effort alone. And this goes on and staff get tired and the patient gets tired and the risk increases. I mean, that's pretty obvious. When we've looked at these incidences and applied some risk management to this, one of the things that and by the way, this is not only my suggestion, this is the suggestion of other expert witnesses in the field and indeed lawyers, what we've suggested is, why are you not using handcuffs? Why are you not using some form of mechanical restraint, be it a handcuff, a soft cuff, an emergency response belt, or some piece of equipment that will bring the restraint to an end quickly? And the common comeback we get on this is because they're not allowed. Someone somewhere thinks it's illegal. Well, I have to tell you this right now, that is a myth. The use of handcuffs are not illegal. Anyone can carry them and use them. Obviously there are training implications with this, but here's the key thing. If the use of that mechanical device can reduce the risk of someone dying, then under human rights legislation, it absolutely should be considered. And in fact, where necessary, implemented. That is part of the positive obligation we have to promote and preserve the right to life. And if you fail to do that, and someone dies who's been in this prolonged situation, potentially not only do you have a violation of Article 2 on the Human Rights Act, potentially you have a corporate manslaughter case coming your way. And that's going to be even more compounded if they can evidence that you've not looked at other alternatives to this. Another issue with this is the fact that restraint is a manual handling activity. And a manual handling activity, as defined by the manual handling operation regulations, is the moving or controlling or the lifting of a load, pushing and pulling, for example, by human effort. Take that definition, that's exactly what we do in physical restraint. Now, the manual handling regulations are absolutely clear, and they state where you can eliminate the need to manual handle someone by human effort, that must be explored. So not only are the issues of handcuffs, emergency response belts and other bits of equipment a good thing to consider in terms of reducing time, if you're working under health and safety legislation, and particularly the manual handling operation regulations, which you have to consider as part of your risk management approach to this, then the use of these pieces of equipment must be considered if they can eliminate the need to continue restraining by human effort. So to summarise this very short video very quickly for you, if in your industry sector or as a trainer you are advising people how to bring a restraint to a conclusion that's going on for 4, 5, 6 hours or even 30 minutes, please start to look more sophisticated at this, start to think more intelligently about this, and start to look and consider the use of mechanical aids. There'll be more on this coming out soon, but thank you very much for listening.